Allow me to show you something.
We saw in the last video how opening the bidding at the 1 level shows a hand in the 12 to 19 point range. But what if you have a hand with fewer points, but more distributional strength? Say you picked up this hand, for example. It only has 6 points, but the distribution means you would definitely want to bid. By skipping the 1 level altogether and starting the bid at a higher level, you alert partner to the fact that you have a weaker distributional hand rather than high card strength, and also you make it more difficult for your opponents to enter the auction. We call these preemptive bids, in recognition of that aim of getting in ahead of the opponent's bidding. The more distribution power your hand contains, the higher you can afford to open the bidding, so it's usual for hands like this one that have a 6-card suit, in typically the 6 to 10 point range, to open at the 2 level, whereas you would show a 7-card suit, such as our first example hand, by opening at the 3 level. Hands with 7-card suits can have even fewer points because of the extra distributional strength. Anything from 3 or 4 up to about 9 points is fine for a 3-level opening bid. Taking the same principle even further, if you are dealt an 8-card suit in a weak hand like this one, you would open at the 4 level, making it even harder for your opponents to come into the bidding. The ideal preemptive hand is one that has its points concentrated in its long suit as well as having shortage in another suit, a singleton or void. To illustrate this, let's look at some hands which all have 6 points and a 7-card suit, but which vary greatly in quality. This is a great preemptive hand. Your long suit is spades, so the opponents have to go up a level to bid any suit. Your points are concentrated in your long suit, so you're bound to take a reasonable number of tricks, and you have shortage in hearts, so you're not going to lose many tricks in that suit. This one is not bad. You have hearts, so that makes it more difficult for the opponents to bid minor suits. You are short in spades though, and there is a strong likelihood that the opponents will bid those, so your bid isn't such an effective preempt. Your suit is respectable, but not great. Your points outside hearts are together in one suit, and that may allow you to take a trick in diamonds. And you have a singleton, so you will only lose one trick in spades. This one is really pretty bad. Your points are scattered, 2 of your 3 queens may well be completely useless. Yes, you have a major suit, but again, it's the lesser one, so your opponents can still bid spades without going up a level, and your suit quality is bad. You don't have a singleton, so the potential losers in your hand are also numerous. If we give you the same hand but swap your heart suit to clubs, this becomes a truly terrible example of a preemptive bid. It has all the faults of the previous one, and because your suit is clubs, it's easier still for your opponents to come in. It still has some preemptive value because you would be opening the bidding at the 3 level, but other risk factors, such as vulnerability, should weigh much more heavily when you have a hand like this. When to preempt is a judgment call, and your judgment will improve with experience. There are a couple more important things to remember about opening bids above the 1 level. The first is that opening at higher levels always shows weak hands, and this requires the judgment calls that we talk about in the hints and tips section for the previous module. This hand, for example, is too good to make a preemptive opening bid, even though it contains a very long suit. Even though it only has 10 high card points, the powerful distribution and points in long suits mean that it is worth considerably more than that, and here you should definitely open 1 spade. The second thing is that while preemptive bids at the 3 and 4 level can be made in all the suits, at the 2 level you can only preempt in diamonds, hearts and spades. This is because 2 clubs has a special meaning, which we will come to in the next video when we look at opening very strong hands. In the meantime, take a look at the hints and tips for this module and try the quiz on the website.